Hello everybody and welcome. I'm your host, Captain Awesomeness, and I'm here in Lahore, Pakistan, going to go over a review. But before I do, I also want to let you guys know that currently there is a huge political turmoil going on in Pakistan, and specifically there was a little bit of violence in Lahore. But I gotta tell you, I'm just fine. Nothing's going on with me. My family is also safe, so nothing to worry about with that. So with that out of the way, I'll also say this. Look guys, don't ask me who I side with, because again, I don't live here. I don't have anything to do with any of it, so I just want to kind of lay that to rest. I'm not interested in who's right and who's wrong. It's just not for me to really offer an opinion on. All right, so what are we doing in this video? As I abruptly was kind of put into silence mode thanks to this little airplane that just flew by me, I want to talk today to you guys about a motorcycle that I've been riding around within the gated community that I am in. So let me also kind of put a couple things ahead of time, and that is basically two things. First, I am not a bike expert. I don't claim to be one. I have always been passive about biking because of some of my own inherent fears about the risks associated with them. On top of that, of course, motorcycling in Pakistan is very common. More people ride on motorcycles than they do on cars because of affordability. However, that doesn't mean that things are safe. So the safety standards here do not come anywhere close to what we see in the US, but that doesn't mean that you know, in America things are safe for motorcyclists. We have to be just as safe in America than we do in a third world country, just how it goes. In any case, if you have been looking at my social media posts, I posted a picture of myself standing next to pretty much what's a more popular motorcycle. Actually, the more popular one is the Honda CD70. So the one I'm about to show you guys as I turn the camera around is the Honda CG125. Now this motorcycle, ladies and gents, has been in Pakistan for quite a long time. I think the production on this started in 1980 and it continues on to this day. Now this one is a brand new motorcycle. It literally has, let me check, 198 kilometers, so just over 100 miles. And yeah, it's a pretty nice clean bike. It's a one piston engine, so something that is pretty common for low displacement motors. I'm gonna get closer here real quick just to kind of go over a few things. This is not a fuel injected motor at all. There's this carburetor here. It's got a choke on the other side. This thing is started by a Kickstarter instead of the remote switch deal we have, and then the rest of the engine basically has, you know, the cable for the clutch shift here for the transmission, and then the throttle engagement as well. Then of course the brakes are cable operated. There is no hydraulic braking. You've got this beautiful black exhaust that goes all the way back to kind of highlight and accent this motorcycle, especially in this sort of, it's not really candy apple, but pretty much dark red or maroon color. So there's that. As I walk around the bike, I want to kind of highlight also how thin the tires are. Not exactly confidence inspiring when you ride this thing. I have been riding this around, like I said, in the gated community, and I do not have the courage in me to ride this around in public in normal traffic, because yeah, traffic is crazy around here, and that's all I'll say about that. So it's really more on me than anything else. All right, so just going into the gauge real quick, just want to kind of get up close. Speed on this side, that is in kilometers per hour. You've got the odometer, so as I said, it's at 198.4 kilometers, and then you've got the tachometer here with, I think, a red line that shows around 9.5K. So it'll go all the way up, but I'm not the one who's going to do any of that. What I will say is that this bike handles just like a bicycle. It doesn't have much weight really, and overall I think it's pretty comfortable to ride in, especially if you don't have to deal with speed breakers or speed bumps. And here in the community that I stay in, the gated community, there is a bunch of those little devils that actually cause some problems with well, for me really, for how rough the ride feels. Anyway, so going back to the bike, and I want to show a couple other things real quick. So obviously, if you're a biker, you know that this side is the clutch cable, and over here is where you have the step for the transmission. Now, I used to have a Yamaha R6, and one thing I'll tell you, again, it's all those who know what this is about. When you go into first gear, you just click down, and then when you want to go to neutral, you click halfway up, and then when you want to go all the way up, that takes you into second, third, fourth, and then fifth. In this bike, it's all the gears go with you having to click down, and so you have to click through 4 gears to get to the top gear, and then when you want to go back to neutral, obviously you can either hit the heel of your foot to go into neutral, going through every gear, or I just kind of use the under part of my foot to kind of click it up, and that's how I go. Chain driven, of course. It's got some warning signs here and some tire pressure information. There's this little key here that I guess opens this part of the paneling up. I don't know what that is for, but I do know that the fuel tank is here, but I'm just assuming that this kind of covers a certain section of the engine. That's about it. I really am not very knowledgeable on this, but still brand new. It's still got that shine on it, an aluminum head, and I guess the rest of the body is just colored in aluminum or silver, whatever. So that's how it works. Another thing, of course, is this bike has wheels with spokes on it, so you have to kind of tighten them as and when you break in the bike. The same goes for the this little tab here, which is for the choke. So you know, you click up, you put it in choke, and then you take it off choke when you click it down. This does allow for people to sit in the back. It's got this little stand right here for the rear passenger. However, I should also mention this: rarely do I ever see 2 people on this bike. You'll see as many as 3 to 4 to 5. You'll also see weird situations where you will have let's see, 2 guys who are sitting and they'll have like a TV in between each other, or one guy who is sitting all the way back because he's got a goat that he's transporting. So this is a mass transportation vehicle for majority of the people in Pakistan, and rightfully so. I mean, cars are pretty expensive here with the customs and import stuff, so this becomes the ride of default. Anyway, enough of our introduction to this motorcycle. I'm gonna hop on and we're gonna go on a quick ride. Okay, a couple of things to note. Obviously, we have a key for our ignition, and basically the ignition part is just basically putting the motorcycle into the on position and then using the Kickstarter to start it. But another thing is that there's a safety feature here where there's a steering lock, so that when you're done riding around and you park it, you kind of put the steering lock and nobody can steal it, or at least that's the hope. Anyway, once you put this from the off to the on position, which I'm failing to do, here we go. The neutral light comes on, so that tells you that you are in neutral mode, and that's how I know that, okay, we're good to go. Obviously, I'm going to have my foot on the left side go down, and then on the right side we will use our Kickstarter. And before I do that, though, guys, if you don't get to hear the engine, it's just because the way that my mic system works is it picks up noise that is close to it, around it, and because the mic is on the inside of the helmet, I don't think it'll be able to really hear anything that goes on the outside. So if you pick up the noise, great. If not, well, I'll see if I can maybe do a video of somebody recording me leaving the house or something, so you can kind of maybe get to hear it. But really, that is the gist of it all. Obviously, we're gonna get our kickstand up. I have my foot on the Kickstarter, and all we do is, again, there's no safety feature really on this, but here we go. And it has started already. Let's see if I can rev it up. Okay, I hope you heard that. That was really me trying to show you how loud this can be, and it's not really that loud. Alright, so get into first gear. I'm going to look around, see if I'm clear. Clutch is engaging already, and off we go. A little bit of a kick, but that's okay. Go into second. Now, Pakistan is a right-hand drive country, so that means you have to drive on the left side, or in my case, ride on the left side of the road. So we want to take a right, but some traffic going on, so I just have to be careful. Of course, this dumbass decides to not go around the roundabout. the way he should. But again, as I mentioned, Pakistan, and you just have to watch out for yourself, because people are not going to be safe around here. And unfortunately, that also means that if you're on a motorcycle, you almost always get ignored. So that's another aspect of it. But anyway, we are in third gear, driving at about 35 kilometers an hour, or kilometers an hour, as I like to say it. I'm not trying to go too fast just yet, but I will on the way back. I just kind of want to show you guys what it's like to, you know, ride it around here. Just downshifted to second and revving it up to 4, changed our gear, go into third gear, and off we are. Now I'll change to fourth gear, and that's the topmost that you can get into. Here we have yet another speed bump, and I'm telling you guys that these things are my nemesis. There's a car coming behind me. I have to watch out for them, because they won't watch out for me. Getting honked at because they're in a rush. Ay, ay, ay. God help these guys. Anyway, so here I am in a rather pristine part of this area. And when I say pristine, this is the part of the gated community. All the houses are cookie cutter houses, but they look beautiful. I really enjoy this, coming through here and just riding around, just checking out, you know, the kind of luxury that unfortunately, you know, some of my friends who get to hear about Pakistan in the news don't get to see what it's really like when you actually live here, or you know, like me, when you visit here. Yeah, just like any other place, it's a major city, and it does have, you know, poverty and wealth. It's just that as I just passed by the ice cream guy, it's just that you know, unfortunately, poverty is a huge issue here. There are many issues that are unique to these guys, and again, I got nothing to do with it, so there's that. I'm getting stared at by all these guys, rightfully so, as this bike decides to, or as this car decides to start moving. I'm going to just stay behind them for now, because I don't know where they want to go. But anyway, here we go. I'm just going to accelerate, go around them the wrong way, and I feel that this is the wrong way, even though I'm supposed to actually pass them from the right, since it's a right-hand drive country. So I don't know what I was talking about, but yeah, really, let's just get back to the bike. The bike in itself feels good. I just whatchamacallit, like how it really engages. It's pretty easy. Like I don't know what the word is, but there's not much of a learning curve to it, especially if you're a seasoned biker. You know, it's just another bicycle. It's just, or another motorcycle. I don't know why I keep calling it bicycle. Well, because it feels like it. But really, the only thing you would have to adjust to is just remembering that you know, all your gears click when you go down on the gear lever, instead of going down once and then up for the rest of the gears. But all right, so now that I've done that part, we're gonna, oops, I'm in the wrong gear. I was in third gear, so I was kind of bogging. But anyway, we're gonna go through here and just talk in general about this motorcycle. Again, it's a Honda. Honda has been around for a long time. They have a big reputation here for not only their motorcycles but also their cars. Again, this is the car or motorcycle of the common man. I'm actually getting stared at because technically, even though I hate to say it or lay claim to it, I am considered part of the elite, and because of that, whenever they see a guy like me wearing the kind of helmet that I am, they're not expecting me to be riding in this. They're expecting me to be riding in an R6 or a Hayabusa or a R1 or whatever, you know, all the high-priced motorcycles, not this thing. So there's a perception issue there, but it is what it is. I'm just, you know, kind of getting a little amused by how I'm getting stared at by everybody. But you just have to deal with it. This is just how things go here. But overall, This is you know, an amazing bike. I really like it because it's so nimble, not numble. It doesn't really have much of a top speed, even though the speedometer here says that I can go all the way up to 120 kilometers per hour, which is 75. I would want to do that because when you get into fourth gear, you're already pretty up high on the RPMs. So if you want to hit that 120 kilometer per hour or 75 mile an hour speed, top speed, you're gonna, as I am having issues, sorry, I just kind of had to cut off because I can't remember where I was. All right, so now we know where we are. I just got disoriented. Yeah, so if you hit that top speed, you're probably all the way up by redline. No engine's gonna last very long if you try to redline it like that. But here we are, riding through this little beautiful part of town. Now I'm in another sector where all those rich houses, or what you would call rich houses, was the F sector. We're now in E sector, and I actually like this sector just because I hung out with a lot of my relatives here. Whoop. Oh, yeah. I'm not watching my speed, and I'm not watching what gear I'm in. Stop paying attention, and I put it in fourth, trying to go quick. That's not going to work out. All right, so just kind of click the horn because there's a little blind spot here as well. I don't want to get hit by somebody not really taking their time to watch where they're going. All right, so here we go, back into second gear. I like to go slow over these speed bumps. Again, I am in Pakistan, and I keep saying that because I know nobody follows safety rules here. Okay, we're clear. We're gonna go ahead and go into the other side of the E sector, and I'll show you guys why I like it here in a moment. Come on, Crow. There you go. Good, Crow. Got out of the way just in time. And it's this little market here. So at night, they've got this little barbecue place. They've got a little, you know, mini mart type of place, and they've got a bunch of things here. So I like to just hang out here, get a few small bites to eat, you know, however much my fat ass will eat of the yummy chicken and beef stuff they have here. So it's pretty enjoyable. But yeah, so that's why I like E-Market. It's pretty nice in that sense. It's real small, and everybody here kind of knows me now, so it's cool like that, you know. They don't know where I'm from because I speak to them in the local language, so I try not to bring in too much attention to myself. But yep, here we go into the end of the E sector, and we're gonna turn around, do a slow U-turn. I've been working on U-turns too, by the way, just to kind of be able to, you know, teach myself for when I get back home, reapply for my temporary permit, and get a permanent license, because I am actually looking to buy a motorcycle. I really miss this aspect of you know, being on the road. Actually, so I'll tell you a quick story. Basically, I had a bike I got from a friend for a little while, and then I had to decide against keeping it because of a close call with a semi, and that scared the heck out of me. That was 16 years ago, back in 2007. So I think I'm at the point where now I think I am just fine. I've gained the confidence back, even though I've been kind of driving in a gated area. I was just afraid to even get on a bike, so at least that is good to go. You know, I'm not too worried about that aspect anymore. So now I just look forward to getting back on. I just have to be basically in such a situation where I have my eyes open all around my head some way, somehow. The one good thing about being here in Pakistan, of course, is also the heat. I want to talk about the heat. See, back home in May, it's still kind of coldish. Like, I think it hit the weather was like in the 70s, right? And it's still kind of cold compared to here in Lahore. Today, as I drive around, it's 102, and it's around 4 p.m. So yeah, it's really hot, but yeah, once you get on a bike and you feel the rush of air, and wear the kind of helmet I do that allows for a lot of air to rush through into you, yeah, you don't even get to feel it. So that's the other awesome part. This video is getting long though, and I still have a bit of a ways to go before I get home, but really I wanted to again showcase another little thing that I really like about this motorcycle, which is how easy yet again it is to drive or ride, and hopefully you guys will also appreciate the small little things in life, which is really what the theme of this is, that it doesn't take for you to have to buy a cruiser or something, you know, like a sport bike to enjoy the amount of excitement that comes with motorcycle riding. But of course it also depends on the area. In Pakistan, 125cc motorcycle makes a lot of sense for the common person, because this is an everyday thing that people ride around in year round. And in America, obviously, motorcycles are not so common. We are a huge country. We have a lot more wealth, disposable income, that is, compared to our consumers here. So obviously for us, it's more of a luxury thing. And when I get back though, obviously I'm not going to be looking for a 125cc motorcycle, because if I'm going to be kind of riding the distances that I think I will be, yeah, I'm definitely going to need a cruiser. I'm too old, I feel, for a sport bike, especially for, let's just say, you know, commutes that might be like, I don't know, maybe at max an hour long from one point, you know, and then back another hour or so. The hour meaning like I'm just kind of thinking maybe maximum 100 miles, an hour and a half one way. I just don't think this will do, or a sport bike. It'll be a cruiser, and that's what I'm looking forward to. And if you have any suggestions, guys, do let me know. I am always looking forward to hearing from you guys about that. As I get back home, here's our driver, who is just kind of cleaning his bike, and yeah, he's gonna actually do some other work as well. But yeah, it was a great ride, I think, and I hope you guys like what you saw. As I entered the home, of course, our beautiful black lab Harco is here, eagerly awaiting us. Come on, there we go. Oh, I stalled out. That's one thing I didn't want to do. There we go. All right, there we are. Now that we've parked up, I want to put it in neutral. Hopefully, again, you enjoyed the video. I know it wasn't much excitement. There was no go-karting and stuff. But really, I think it was a great time for me, at least. And if you have any comments, again, guys, do let me know. And that is all I have for you. Until the next time, guys, I'll see you at the next Apex. Bye-bye.